I'm always ready.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. We are on Epitaph. We just fought our doppelgangers. They didn't really have anything that was better that I wanted to use than what we already had. The one kind of cool thing is the Argenta clone had the 1 star, the Argenta's relic. We actually leveled up twice after that fight, not just once, which was cool. And now we're just going to go ahead and there are some things like some tech uses and stuff like that we're going to go ahead and do. So we're going to go do those now.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Scarlet Foreboding, signs blaze on the vid screen. Someone has placed a seal of silence on the cogitator. Did we fail? No, we succeeded. Okay. I was like, don't tell me we failed that test at 90%. All right, we're gonna go see what this little doodad here is. The tech blight has barely affected the bridge, but almost completely devastated the Xeno structure below.
It's
Maybe
about
that's
time.
down there somewhere. That leads down there. So we're going to go do this and then go down, it looks like.
None shall stand in my way.
Okay, let's go up here first.
My success was inevitable.
One of the images stands out among the rest. This likely used to be the symbol of an ancient Xenos dynasty. Alright, nothing else there.
Follow my lead.
We got this. Connect to the memory core.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Okay. That was different.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Incandescent storm. Oh, this is an item. Okay. Each of the wearer's single attacks gains plus 10% damage for each negative effect on the target. Just going to be a better plasma gun. Yes, it is definitely better than what we've got. All right, to the stairs. Yep, this way. It's kind of a cool layout
I'll lay
for
claim to the stars.
this tomb. Got some goods down here. Got some shielded turrets. There's a a lot of stuff going on here. Player gains a 0% chance to ignore any info. That sounds kind of stupid. Find an awful lot of melted charges. Alright, let's look at this rosary thing here. Plus 10 to all skills. Plus 10 to all skills. Every spent AP gains 2 movement points to the wearer. Also, the wearer's movement is not affected by threatened areas. Alright, so if we put this on the Tesla, does nothing. It just doesn't seem to do anything for anybody here, it looks like. I don't know. Don't know.
It's about time.
I have learned much in my exile.
As soon as you touch the obelisk, ancient Xeno symbols appear in your mind, forming the words, "Open the pocket repository." Alright. Adeptus Astrade's axe. Man, I really wish I knew we would have gotten that Grey Wolf. I'm not sure that's worth it. Let's just take a quick look at. Yeah, no, we're not going to take that hat. Whoops. Still want to take the stuff.
The machine god grants the insight.
Lord Inquisitor, we are progressing according to plan. Our troops have already reached the target. Okay.
Victory awaits.
Unnatural energies torment the Xenos' dead body, destroying and reconstructing it over and over.
That was insulting.
Well, That sucked. Skin patch. Skin patch removes trauma. We just need regular old medikits.
I tire of idleness. Let's move. Back into the fray. Thank you. Now, where were we? Need a little morale boost?
The healing is much appreciated.
Get a grip of yourself.
Ugh, field medicine at its finest.
Need a little morale boost?
House Orselio thanks you.
All right. Alright, that doesn't work that way, evidently. Make sure everybody is up on their med kits. All right. All right. Don't go down that way. There's a thing down there, but I didn't want to take time to figure it out because that hole getting blasted by heavy bolter, and we might have run into the same issue here too. Oh, she has base med kits already. Come on, mouse. Do you? No, mouse! Mouse!
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay. Blessed be the hand of the healer.
All right. Guess we will go over here. Just regular loots. Loots that can blow up.
A new challenge for me.
The destructive web of the tech blight is spreading across the walls of the crypt. I don't think there's any real reason to go over there. I mean, we could go down and take it out, but I'm just going to be wasting med kits.
I won't tolerate weakness.
There's not for sure anything over there, so... I guess we got to go through here to get there. At least that's what I'm assuming, because it won't let us walk through there. There's Calcazar. Yeah, this is a bloody shard enclosure tomb thing. Inquisitor's waiting. Lord Inquisitor's expecting you. This place is ginormous.
It's about
We're
time.
going to do some poking around before we go talk to Calcazar. Appears to be nothing I can do, look at or work on until I talk to him, is what it appears. So I guess we're gonna go talk to Calcazar and find more stuff out. Maybe.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I see you did not heed my warnings, Ignatius. Your decision to come here in spite of them may have consequences, but we still have a chance to turn it to everyone's advantage, if your lordship listens to me very carefully. With all due respect to you, Lord Inquisitor, I shall ask you to refrain from any further threats directed towards the blessed rogue trader, lest you face repercussions from me. You tell him, Abelard. How courteous of you to warn me, Master Warasine. I will remember your words. The line you are treading is a dangerous one, Calcazar. Stop this madness. You are the one who is attempting something mad and dangerous by acting with insolence towards me. By the Emperor, Ignatius, I am in no mood to squabble with a rogue trader. Not even with your recently installed lordship. Point to the Xenos construct. Is that what you are here for? What is it? They call it a shard. And yes, as you have noted quite aptly, it is the reason I am here. This construct contains an ancient, or rather pre-ancient being of cosmic power. They were called the Catan. The entity is currently trying to escape, and I am here to collar it. Calcazar nods at the giant device, whose design clearly points to it having been brought into the crypt from outside. No one in this world is capable of taming the power of the true Yingir, the Star Destroyers, or Devourers. And if you think even a small and imprisoned part of one of them is going to yield to you, you are mad, monkey. Mad and short-sighted. What is this Catan shard? And what is it doing here? A specimen of an ancient predator race, devourers of pulsars who feasted on star systems, reality itself bent to their power. But many millennia ago, an ancient Xenos race managed to defeat them, shatter them into pieces, and lock them away in prisons like the one you see before you. The Yingir are no mere predators, Monkey. They are not just another sentient race. The ancient tales speak of a great war between the Yingir and the Old Ones. And in that war, the Yingir found allies to whom they promised unbounded gifts. You have seen them, Elentot. Your species calls them Necrons. The Yingir granted them everything they needed to fight their enemies, but their largesse came at a price. Tricked into a state that was neither life nor death, the Metal Warriors served the Star Devourers for eons until they finally rebelled and confined their masters to prisons such as this one. Do you wish to be tricked by their power too? Your unsanctioned Xenos has a point, Rogue Trader, which isn't the same as saying she is right. The Imperium will harness this creature's power and turn it against our enemies. I like number 4. And do you think you stand a chance against such power? Do you mean to say that a human is not capable of such a feat? But I am not just a human. I am an instrument of the Emperor's will, one of many, and the Imperium is omnipotent. If I were to fail, another would follow in my footsteps. That is how humanity makes the impossible possible. With the hand of particular people in particular circumstances. Your skepticism is unwarranted. How will taming this creature help save the Imperium? Over my years of service, I've come to realize that the main problem that humanity faces in this war is the imbalance of power. Our opponents are not races or nations, but incomprehensible monsters. And it is time we acquired one of our own. My yoke will bind this creature and make it a chained guard serving the Emperor. This is not the full extent of my vision. There are other shards similar to this one scattered across the galaxy. I plan on seeking them out and confining them all inside the yoke. Each conquered monstrosity will bolster our defense. I still have many questions of you. Given the circumstances of our meeting, I do not see why I should hide anything. I seriously doubt you will share this information with anyone else for one reason or another. How did this thing end up in your possession? Thanks to your predecessor. I arrived in the Expanse at the call of the Explorator fleet to deal with Archmagus Magos's Amernat's heresy. But I quickly came to the realization that the Kronos Expanse's problems ran much deeper than tech heresy. Unprecedented piracy running wild, blatant smuggling of Xeno artifacts, willful and impetuous rogue traders, and growing threat from the ruinous powers. All this in a region that the Drukhari consider their domain. Frankly, I considered purging the entire Expanse. It would have been much easier to burn down this whole tangle of threats and corruption. But the web of spies that I had woven presented me with much more interesting and radical solutions. While investigating Amernat's connections, I turned my eye to Theodora von Valencius, who ultimately gave me the shard. How was Theodora involved in all this? Theodora's instincts were uncanny. She spent decades hunting for a key that could open the dimensional gate, as if she knew that there was something incredible waiting for her on the other side. Her ladyship was lucky enough to discover the shard during one of her expeditions. a trophy that was too much for her to handle. Archmagos Amernat studied it on Theodora's behalf, creating weapons in exchange for access to the dangerous relic. But their research was too primitive and unambitious compared to the true power contained inside the shard. I had one of my acolytes, Tanakia, send her spies to Theodora. They infiltrated the Rogue Trader's retinue, earned their trust, and reported to me about this magnificent object. The rest was trivial. I seized Epitat and laid down the conditions of our further coexistence. She was wise enough to concede defeat with dignity. I commenced Operation Precious Sentinel. I left a garrison on Epitat, took the key to the dimensional gate from Theodora, sealed the gate, and started the creation of the yoke. I kept Theodora and her heirs in my sights, just in case. Not long before her death, I assigned Heinrich to her and ordered her to rendezvous with him on Rikiad Minoris, but your lordship inherited him instead. I admit I wasn't aware of you. Theodora managed to keep her secret heir up her sleeve. So instead of eradicating Theodora's misdeeds, you chose to inherit them. Argenta's voice rings with righteous steel. Gritting his teeth, Abelard says quietly, in the old days, House von Valencia would have declared war over something like this, and fought until the offender was dead. What is the yoke? A containment device similar to this one, except better. The yoke was devised by the brightest minds of two races using the ancient wisdom of long-gone Xenos civilization. A prison capable not only of holding the Catan Shard, but also of containing it while releasing fractions of its being. An instrument of obedience and destruction. A masterpiece whose creation required immense effort. It was made on Euphrates II. I captured Amernat's student, Axiomantha, and she passed all of her mentor's drafts to me. And the one overseeing the process was none other than your acquaintance, the tech priest Cubus Delphim. His fall was regrettable. It seems that the unorthodox, daring things he did at my behest drove him to break his vows and sink into heresy. But the human mind could never have comprehended the shard alone, and thus I appealed to the inhuman mind. I struck a deal with the Drukhari. Theft of sacraments of secrets of the Adeptus Mechanicus, registered. Inciting a devout tech priest to commit heresy, registered. Blasphemous merging of sacred technologies with forbidden ones, registered. Further transgressions, registration discontinued. The drill on Pascal's mechadendrite screeches in fury. You collaborated with the Drukhari. Alas, the operation demanded it. Through the agents of one of my acolytes, Melina, whatever her name is, I contacted Archon Yermerias and made a pact. I gave her access to the technologies contained within this relic and destroyed her rivals in the Cabal. She would relay information on their raids to my spies, and I would solve the problem. In exchange, her homunculus, Terventius, forged the yoke for me. Of course, I did not let him near the shard itself, but rather set up a laboratory for him on Quetzaltemur. It was safer that way. All the pieces were contributing to my plan, but none had enough information to comprehend the entirety of it. Why do the Drukhari want the shard? It is one of the most complicated and perfect creations of a race much older than the Drukhari. It is no mere object, but a treasure trove of technology. A wise master could uncover many secrets simply by observing it. Sound strategy? Trust me, your lordship, the threat of the alien pales in comparison to that posed by the ruinous powers. Eurymurius could plunder 1,000 worlds, but she is no Erlon the Cruel. She was as great a danger to her own kin as she was to the Imperium. The disruption she caused among the Drukhari was only to our benefit. She intended to trigger a powerful disjunction in Camarok, thereby destroying her rivals and elevating her own cabal in the process. Knowing full well how precarious her grand plan was, I made no attempt to talk her out of it. With a little luck, we wouldn't need worry about Camarok's influence. This new information about a pact, combined with the astro observation data collected in this star system, resolves the inconsistencies identified earlier. Until Xavier Calcazar stands accused of stealing the astrographic records of the Cognizance fleet. I am amazed by your analytical prowess. Yes, I needed stars to feed the shard. The cabal of the Reaving Tempest could steal them and bring them here. But it was imperative to preserve the exact energy parameters so as not to trigger the object's premature detonation. I procured the necessary information on suitable stars from the Explorator Fleet's data scriptorium. Registering Category 1 Blasphemy. Until Xavier Calcazar is hereby, or Unit Calcazar, Unit Xavier Calcazar is hereby sentenced to intravital dissection and study. Upon the cessation of vital functions, the unit's remains must be disposed of in disgrace. And then, I take it, you decided to get rid of your Xenos allies? There was no more need for them, seeing as the yoke was almost complete and the situation was escalating out of control. Theodora was dead, the cult of the Final Dawn had reared its head and was preparing to strike, and Eurymurius had forgotten her place. She was putting forward too many elimination requests, and when I told her to curb her appetite, she retaliated. The theft of the Recad Star was timed to occur when Master von Kalix would be on the planet. The Archon wanted to rob me of one of my agents and send a message. And then the Cronus Expanse was engulfed in flame. I had to rush the operation and declare sector-wide martial law. The webway gate that Eurymurius's warriors had been using was destroyed and the facility on Quetzaltemur razed. I evacuated the half of the yoke that Tervantius had completed, but was too late to retrieve the second half from Euphrates II. Cubus Delphum revealed to Erlon the Cruel where he should strike, and that almost spelt the end of Operation Precious Sentinel. I appreciate your efforts at resolving this problem, and yet you turned out to be much more useful than Theodora ever was. The Denzians of the Arikad system, Santil Prime, and all the other starless worlds, you were the one who sentenced them to death by sending the Drukhari after their sons. Well noted. Yes, I acted as their executioner. As regrettable as those losses were, however, to overestimate their importance to the Imperium would have been folly. Every single day, humanity pays a far more terrible price, and that must be brought to an end. Why did you call for the Astartes to come to your aid? I needed a remarkably strong force to keep my Xenos allies in check. The Emperor's Angels were just the weapon I was looking for. Except, considering the sensitive nature of my operation, I couldn't very well risk requesting aid from my allies in the Death Watch, could I? And then I remembered an old debt owed to me by a Space Wolf's Grape Company, so I decided to call in a favor. They were an asset at first. The Wolves helped me close the Dimensional Gate by overwhelming its security systems. I tasked them with hunting the Xenos condemned by Euramirius. But eventually they started prying, and that was unacceptable. I could control Thorvald by giving him more tempting targets. But the baleful Howl Pack, they raided an outpost where my agents had been meeting with the Drukhari. The pack took prisoners and lost the esteemed brother Ulfar. I hoped they would give all their to the search, but instead the wolves forced the system's coordinates out of the captives and came crashing down on my head. They had no gate to transport them. They used nothing but their warp engines. Thankfully, they realized the situation too late, so Tanakia managed to neutralize them. I see. You have come so far in pursuit of answers, Ignatius. It would be cruel to leave your curiosity unsated. Seeing as the inhabitants of this place almost killed you, I gather that something went wrong with this plan of yours. Not at all. Operation Precious Sentinel is in its final stages. The increase of Xenos activity is a vexing yet trivial development in the grand scheme of things. They were supposed to guard the device, but they slept through the intrusion, and only the Catan Shard's emanations could make them stir. Theodore's research destabilized the Shard's prison, and my project only made it worse. Whenever particles of the Catan Shard energy seep out, many curious phenomena occur. The destruction of the crypt, the warped reality. When I tame the monster, I will order it to stop disrupting the laws of the universe. Yeah, that'll work. And that brings us to the most interesting part of our conversation. You know my plan, so now I want to know yours. Will you admit that I am right and join me in this undeniably ambitious act, or will you try to stop me? I'll be upfront with you. If it is the later, I will be forced to remove you, but I am sure you realize that already. That's the second time you have threatened the Lord Captain. Listen to yourself. What you are planning is heresy. Enough, Ignatius. It will only be heresy if I lose. If I prevail, it will be a triumphant feat in the name of saving humanity from the horrors of this universe. And I will not lose. I will not let you bring this insane plan to fruition. The Inquisitor nods calmly. There's not a shred of hatred or disappointment in his face. Farewell, then. I am glad to have made your acquaintance, Ignatius. Despite everything, he glances at his retinue. Eliminate the rogue traitor.
I am prey for no creature.
I'll turn you into corpse.
Alright. Well, this battle's got 13 people. Xavier's got 3,600 hit points, 85% armor. He's got Death Whisper. He's an assassin, huh? Ugh. Alright. Let's get placed here. 1,300. Man, there's a lot of big guys here. Some of them are pretty weak. 81s, 80s. 1,400. There's a couple big guys. 81. 81. 81. So it looks like Calcazar and these Inquisition veterans are the big guys, the big boys. All right. So Calcazar is going to go. All right, let's put Pascal here. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right. Well, looking at the clock, I don't think we got time to get into this battle, so I'm going to place people and then call it. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I've been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you later.